Hey, you've made it to the podcast Recovery Captured, hosted by me, Shannon Louise, a certified recovery coach and self-verified addict. Join me on my journey through my recovery from mind-altering substances, eating disorders, depression, and much, much more. During this podcast, you'll hear my personal experience, thoughts, and opinions, as well as my guests' stories through their own recovery. I hope that you're able to take something away from this podcast and use it as a tool to help you see that your story is picture perfect.
That makes it look weird.
It does.
What
I only see my kids.
This is your cord.
This is my cord.
Yeah, I
why
know,
is it?
because it was hanging between my legs. It was weird.
All right.
All right, so, you want to start off with some,
Would you rather?
would you rather?
Yeah, okay. Would you rather have the longest hands or the shortest legs?
So if I have one, I can't have the other.
Right.
I can't.
So you just have
normal
average legs?
Can you not hear me?
You're like,
Yeah.
Crunching
I'm
your
sorry.
face.
I'm lazy and I lean.
okay, longest hands or shortest legs?
So if I have the longest hands, I therefore also have the shortest legs, or do I have normal legs and long hands?
It's or. It's not both.
So you
Right.
have normal legs and feet, but really long hands.
Yeah.
I think I could figure.
It's Michael.
Hey,
He just
probably
has long
some-
hands. He has long toes.
Ew. There's probably some advantages. What's the shortest legs?
Picture time.
The other one is shortest legs.
Yeah.
What would be an advantage of having
I don't
short
know.
legs?
You
Longest
scurry
hands.
fast.
Okay.
Longest hands.
Hands.
I could figure out some uses for that.
Yeah, I think longest hands.
Longest hands. I would
Yeah.
not want to have short legs.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Okay.
Very disproportionate.
Imagine if you had short legs and really long hands. And you're running,
that's what would make it
your
more.
arms
They're
are
like
dragging.
Lester's ears just dragged
So
on the
that
ground.
so my question is because that would make it more interesting if I had like the shortest legs and the longest hands, or I had normal hands and normal. I don't know. It just seemed
No,
more.
or the, yeah.
It sounds like a
I'm sticking with the
disadvantage
ha-
on one
I'm
side.
Sticking with the hands.
Okay, would you rather smell like rotten eggs or look like a chimpanzee?
Chimp.
I already
Hands
look
down.
like a chimp.
Okay.
Pair up well with my long hands.
Bow-legged legs.
Okay, would you rather make contact with spirits or contact with aliens?
Fucking
Aliens.
spirits.
Aliens,
Aliens.
hands down.
Yeah, aliens.
They're gonna have way cooler stuff to talk about. Spirits, they're gonna tell me like all the stuff in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I could Google
Or
that.
they're
I could Bing
creeping
it.
on you.
I could Bing it. Alexa.
I was getting all excited because there's this new show and it was like all about cults.
Mm.
And then I looked and one of the episodes said something about a seance and I said, fuck that. I can't do it. Can't do it.
I'd kick it with the spirits.
Do you believe in spirits?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, seance would not be great for you.
No.
Yeah. All right.
So definitely aliens. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
but
hit
here's
the spirits. You guys get the aliens.
here's the
figured Ty would
the
pick
catch
aliens,
catch to the
for
aliens.
sure.
You're probably gonna get probed. I mean, that's the stereotype, right? So you get to
Probe
learn.
and laced.
You would.
Well, let's
Already have.
have a good time and learn some cool shit, I guess.
Win-win for all.
Okay, this one's for Lori if
Perverts,
she's
those
listening. Would you rather fart every time you speak or burp every time you sing? We got to get some
Burp
potty
every
talk.
time I sing. Is that what you said? Burp
Yeah.
every time you sing? Oh yeah, no problem with that.
Fart every time you speak or burp every time you sing.
Dad says I have a lovely singing voice, so I definitely burp every time I sing.
Yeah, I would too.
I guess I would too.
I don't
I
don't
love
sing.
singing.
I don't sing.
I sing
often.
all the time.
Wait, so is it? Do you just burp at the beginning of each sentence of the song,
No,
or
it
do
doesn't
you?
get that specific.
Well, maybe we should
Kind
drill
of.
down on this question and not just take it as it's surface
that's what
level.
It says, okay.
But I mean, if you're burping every word, that's gonna get exhausting.
It would be so annoying.
But if you're farting when you speak, you can at least speak and just let the gas out. So it's a matter of convenience, depending on how you look at it.
No one would ever want to be around you.
No one already
But
does.
what if wait? Does it say that your farts smell?
No,
Because if you, I think
not that
scientifically, if you fart enough, it doesn't smell anymore.
But is it?
I think that's
is it
science.
loud or is it SBDS?
It's loud. It's loud.
Does it say loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you just putting that part of the
No.
question? Would you have to explain that away, like every time you talk? So, like, hey, I'm kidding. Hey, I'm sorry. I just fart every time I speak. So if I could just keep going with the sentences, and then
run-on
there'll be less farts in our conversation.
And you're explaining this with your really long hands.
Oh my god, looking like a chimp. I mean, if you looked like a chimp, I would just imagine they fart if they talk. So like, if you get them
already
all together, they're like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna
this guy.
fart when he talks to me.
My abs are
So stupid.
Wait. Okay, this is not a would you rather, but
Okay.
do you know those people that sound like they have to fart when they talk? Like their voice is like
Cracky, like, oh my god.
There's a guy on the news, and every time we see the news, Mike and I are like, oh my god, he still hasn't farted. Like his voice sounds like he's like clenching a fart every time. It's
Well,
really bad.
There was that senator, right, that farted on camera, and he still has to deny it every time, like, he talks on the news. So, like, hey, weren't you the guy that farted on live television? He goes, oh, no, I was like a sound blurb or something.
That's my squeaky shoes.
So, I mean, to that guy's credit, good for him, not farting.
Oh, God.
You know what really bothers me is when someone yawns and they burp. Like a burp just comes
happens
out.
all the time.
I hate it. I find it offensive when someone else does it and they don't say excuse me.
Well, that's rude. If they don't say excuse me.
Well, no, it's just the action that comes with it.
Oh, my God.
If you're going to yawn and burp, I'm offended. I don't like it.
Good to know. Okay.
My fun fact.
I'm gonna start training myself. Yawn and burp when I talk to you.
Oh, God. Would you rather be covered with scales like a fish or be covered with fur? I mean,
Fur.
you're going to be a chimpanzee, so.
Yeah,
You're already there.
Okay.
Hold on. We got to think of advantages, right? So you could go outside when it's cold,
Yeah.
anytime when you have fur, right? But have you ever seen the
You'd be
Wolfman in
sweating
like
your balls
Mexico?
off if
Like
it's
there's
hot,
the
though.
Wolf brothers. They're in like a circus. It's like a hair condition where you grow hair
Yes.
all. You've seen that?
Yeah.
Well, I know
on
what you're talking about.
Ripley's, believe it
Yeah.
or not. They don't look bad. I mean, they got
But
nice
like
wavy
the scaly
hair.
skin,
Mm.
that's a Dr.
But would you be able
Pepper
to?
Popper type.
Would you be able to swim
type of deal.
faster? Like, if you have
Are
scales
you
like
going
a
to
fish, right?
attract
You're more
other
streamlined.
fish because you have rainbow?
I don't know the answers.
Scales.
What
to
if you
these
wouldn't
questions.
smell? Like,
Fish smell, though.
Would you smell
yeah,
like a
but
fish?
they
if you
smell
had
like
scales?
the water. They don't smell like fish. Don't sweat,
I don't know.
So like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with fur.
I like fur.
I think fur, too.
Yeah,
okay.
you could definitely like get some good hairstyles, right?
Yeah.
No, like hair regrowth cream or anything. You wouldn't have to worry about
No, what is that, Rogaine?
that. Rogaine, yeah.
What is that sex fetish where they dress up like animals?
Furries.
Oh.
It's
Furries.
called furries.
You're
You
just
are
a
already
full-time
there.
Furry.
Yeah.
Do you think if somebody, I don't want to offend anybody that might be a furry, but do you think if somebody that was full of fur and was a furry would still dress up because like
Like
They
fur
don't-
on top of the fur.
no like they wear like
No,
mascot
they're
costumes,
going
don't
to
they?
wear a scaly costume.
That'd be silly.
So they're now
But
they're
then
scalies.
you wouldn't be a furry at that
So
point.
it could be both.
Yeah, I think they wear mascot costumes, like full up like
Oh.
college mascots, right?
I have no
Imagine us
idea.
a bumblebee or hornet, excuse me.
They
Oh,
the,
yeah.
technically like bees have fur,
They're like,
right?
yeah.
That's how they hoard the honey. It sticks to
Gross.
their fur, right?
I thought it stuck to their legs.
Yeah, but their legs are furry.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
You get your phone up. Let's pull a bee up.
Okay. Okay, last one that I have is, would you rather be a character in the last book you read or the last movie you watched?
One, don't remember the last movie I watched, and two, haven't read a book.
The last book I read was a financial book, so probably not.
I
was like
just
a-
watched Encanto yesterday with the boys.
Mm.
It's really good. So
Technically, we
for
just watched
sure-
Mitchell and Machines.
Oh, shoot. So I would definitely be in that movie. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that movie, and I briefly watched Encanto this morning. Like
Yeah.
I was doing stuff, so
Great soundtrack.
I've been told.
I want to be the really
But-
strong Luisa character from Encanto.
You want to look like her?
No, I just want to be able to like.
Doesn't
live
she have
through it.
magic? Why? So I was talking to Justin. He brought up a great point. Isn't her strength brought on by magic?
Yeah.
Why does she have to be so giant?
I don't know.
Like she's using like it was a valid. I was like, that's a really good point. Like if you have magic, there's zero reason why you'd have to be built like a linebacker.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
She's built like
A linebacker. I have never seen it.
It's good. It's very good.
You have no point of reference here, dude.
I don't. I am lost.
Okay.
That's all right.
So
Sorry.
no, that's great. No, I appreciate. It's a nice icebreaker. Breaks the ice. It's good. Thank you for bringing those.
What was your last movie, Shannon?
Literally, we watched
know.
one probably yesterday.
Okay, what movie was
And
it?
I
you
don't
know.
remember. It's so bad. Dane,
Can you
Dane
describe a character
absolutely hates it. No,
that you can't remember movies, or that like he watched a movie with you?
both.
Uh,
He's like, we watched the Patriots game the other day. I'm like, okay. He's like, they lost, and you commented on it and stuff. And I was like, don't fucking remember. It happened like last weekend. So bad.
so you can't. You don't think of any character that was in the movie?
No.
Okay.
See, I tell you, I have a really bad memory, and then you're
I
like,
do.
you got a really good one.
Well, you remember everything when we were kids, and I don't. So you like fill in the gaps.
I think she's done a little bit more work on like working through
Probably.
that. So she's had to talk about it and think about it.
No, even before, she would just she'd just be like, "Hey, Dad, remember like when I liked this thing?" And everybody's like, "No," and she's like, "I really liked it."
Why? I need it.
That's my child Shannon voice, I guess.
Oh, okay. Let's get into some things. These are the generic questions that I always ask. What are the goods? What are you in recovery for? If you are in recovery, how long have you been in recovery? And give us a fun fact. So Shelby,
So
any of those?
I was gonna say. So I'm working through issues with disordered eating.
Uh-huh.
It's been 3 months, thanks to Emily,
Yeah.
who's on your podcast previously. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And a fun fact, God, you're gonna have to circle back. I haven't had time to think about that.
You're just gonna have to answer it
Do you
because
guys
once
have
we
a fun
circle to
fact
me,
about
I
me,
have
not
no idea.
that we talked about before.
Pretty good at Would You Rathers.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That's the internet.
Oh, well. You're good at Googling.
Yeah.
Bing it. You're good at binging.
Oh no, it's DuckDuckGo.
Oh, yep.
Well,
I use
listen,
DuckDuckGo as well.
I don't think you've ever talked about figure skating. You're a really good figure skater.
Oh.
You skated for how many years?
That's true.
Oh my God, I don't know. For 20 years, I
Mhm.
think, before I stopped. I don't know.
You were like, what, 3? 2, 3?
Two,
When
yeah.
you got on ice? Yeah.
Yeah, I miss it. I'm excited for our upcoming skating excursion, if we can pull that off.
Yeah,
But
is that happening?
I am
It should.
nervous about my skates actually fitting.
I don't think I'll
'Cause
have a
I tried to
problem with
wear
my
'em last
skates fitting,
year.
but my, for sure, feet are going to be so sore.
Uh-huh.
Because I haven't put on skates since, God, like 6 years probably.
I know. Well, I put on skates last winter at Jay and Sherry's
Yeah.
because they have a rink, and it hurts so bad.
Well,
So-
group fun fact: we are all skaters.
Yeah.
If you haven't picked up on that, Tyler hockey,
Mm-hmm.
plays hockey,
Yeah.
and then we do figure skating.
I
Yep.
was a figure skater.
Yes, you were.
Only one foot I would use, but
I would love you.
Said that
I
really
would
weird.
love to see you wear figure skates again.
ugh.
That's how I feel about hockey skates. Fun fact: I've only worn hockey skates one time.
Yeah.
And it's because I forgot my skates, and I was working
I-
at the
rink?
open skate or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and had to wear hockey skates.
Mm.
Ugh.
I would hate to rent skates.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
gross.
Ew.
Like they're not like good with your feet and like
Yeah.
like
Your
I
ankles.
sharpened all those skates, and we only sharpen them like twice a year. So like like you're going around a corner at any sort of speed, you're taking a tumble.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
what are Tyler? Are you in recovery?
I am not in recovery.
So the next question does not pertain to you. And what's a fun fact?
Fun fact: I have stripped at a couple weddings. So
Yes.
1, 2, 4 weddings.
I don't know. Andy's, ours,
Mine,
yours,
Justin's,
Justin's.
and technically one of Becca's family friends.
Okay, so 5.
Yeah, stripped down into a bikini shirt for her grandmother because I met her like months earlier. I was like, "Do you remember me?" She goes, "No," and I go, "I told
I
you
bet
I'd
you
wear my
will."
bikini shirt if you wore yours," and I ended up like stripping down at her wedding into a bikini shirt, and she took it off me and wore it.
Oh my god.
Second time meeting her, she was a lovely lady.
Fun fact, mine. I stripped at your wedding
That's true. That's very true.
and gave your wife a lap dance.
I forgot
that was a
about
that was a crazy surprise.
It
I
was.
forgot about
And I
that.
had things coming out of me. I had a rubber chicken.
We should
Oh, yeah.
rephrase that.
I had a
Things coming out of your
shirt.
attire. Yeah.
attire. I had
I
a
don't even
blazer
remember What you
on.
were wearing? I totally forgot about this.
I remember Justin and
Probably-
his suspenders.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
yeah. No, I had
There's
a
just a lot of
an-
stripping.
yeah, I had an
That wedding.
overcoat, and then I was just like, I had ties, like a bunch of ties put
Mhm.
together, and I'm like just pulling it out,
Yeah,
giving your
move,
wife
yeah.
a lap dance. Yeah, so
Huh.
that's my fun fact.
Yeah.
Nice little memory for
do
you.
that?
Yeah.
Do you do that on every podcast? Come up with a new fun fact?
No, I usually people don't ask me,
Oh.
but when I interview Shelby,
I
she
have
always
to
fucking
ask her
asks me the
questions.
questions. I'm
I
like,
have no
don't
more
know.
questions.
That's good,
on
though.
my phone.
I
for
got
you.
some more.
I have
so don't
questions
worry.
on my phone.
Okay. Whoa.
You do?
Mm.
You want to pull them out?
I think they'll get into it.
Okay.
They'll be better on later.
Okay. So, if you guys haven't picked up yet, these are my siblings. They are
Oh,
not
yeah, we
in.
should have led with that.
Yeah, we didn't
That's-
even introduce ourselves.
We're leaving them. We're leaving it a little spicy, waiting
Mysterious.
for. Yeah, exactly. So they are not in active recovery from drugs or alcohol or anything like that. Shelby mentioned her eating disorder that she is tackling right now, which is awesome. Tyler's a normie, I guess. Good for you.
I think after listening to this, people will be like, "Yeah, probably not."
Find that term offensive.
So yeah, we're just here to talk about what it's like to be a sibling of someone who has addiction. What it was like for them while I was in active addiction, and what it's like on the other side. And
It's fucking great on the other side. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty cool to watch. I don't know if that came out right, but it's
the transformation.
the transformation is cool to watch, not the whole other side of it. But
Yeah.
Well, what did it look like on the other side for you?
for me, not a whole lot,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like, I think the first memory I have of some sort of inkling of a problem was Shelby called me when I was at work, and she said she found something. I think you said you found like.
My God,
Yeah.
my memory is terrible.
Yeah, I was working. I think it was IBM at the time. I was in a hallway. I remember talking to you, and you said that like, I think Dad found blow or something. There was something, and you brought up the ultimatum of Ben. I was like, I think you're overstepping. Like, I don't think like I haven't seen any issues. So I was blissfully unaware, I guess.
Well, that was
Which
right
is-
before your
Yeah.
deployment, or
Yeah.
while you were on deployment.
No, it was before. So I was still here working. And she called me, and then when I got deployed, like I don't even think that I knew. Like somehow I found out that you got arrested, but I like didn't know the details about it. So like I didn't know really till I got back, I don't think. So like it sucks that I wasn't part of the intervention, you know, like letting you know what you meant to me at the time, but like also it was nice because I didn't have to deal with
You don't have to be there. For
yeah, I didn't have
No, I
to,
know.
you know, like
I know.
deal with the hurt that everybody else, you know, like
They pretty much spoke for you when they were
Well,
talking.
yeah.
You know.
yeah, I met you guys must have told me, but I don't remember. I don't remember that conversation. I don't remember like an intervention conversation or
I feel like I remember
The
asking
details.
you if you were okay if Becca was there, kind of deal. Like I think I had asked you about that, and you were like, "No, let's just keep it."
yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar.
That sounds like something I'd say.
Yeah, it does sound like something.
Listen
I'd
to
say.
us. We collectively don't have a good memory.
We'll
So
fill
literally
in the blanks.
anything we say
Piecing
is
it together.
subject to change.
You listen here. We're making up the story now. Yeah, I mean, it was so long ago, and I
Yeah.
wasn't here for it, so like I do hold a little bit of guilt for that. Both like for you not being there for you, and then not being there for them. So that was tough.
But like, what about before that? Because
Again,
there was years before that.
like blissfully unaware, and also
Like we knew you were doing drugs.
yeah,
We knew that. And that sounds bad. Like we knew, but we just didn't we didn't know to the extent, I guess, if that makes sense. Like we knew who you were dating, we knew the friends you had.
but you're also in college at the time.
Yeah.
Or late high school and then into college. So like
Comes with the territory.
I feel like
Which is unfortunate. But
I feel like anybody would just naturally assume like, hey, they're gonna party, and like you just don't think that it's worse.
And you had jobs and like
Yeah, you didn't show any real signs of like decay, I guess. I don't know if that's
Decay is such a good word.
You think decay is a good word?
That was a good word.
Yeah, you didn't
I mean, if I look back though at pictures, I'm like, wow. Like I saw one the other day, and I don't remember. It was like at Aunt Chrissy's for some like a Thanksgiving or something like that. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it's just crazy.
You gotta show me these pictures.
I
Because
know.
there's like, I don't have that many like pictures that I see in active addiction. Like I had to dig through like people's Facebooks that I'm not friends with to find a photo. But
Huh.
like,
I mean, thinking back on it, like you were always like at family parties. We were all usually very like talkative, and like there were a couple parties where you were definitely
Yeah.
withdrawn, but like you know, you always chalk it up to the easiest scenario.
Yeah, like
Not
having a
you don't
bad
jump.
day,
Yeah, you don't
like,
jump to
Not
drug
feeling
addiction,
well.
you know?
Yeah, you don't go fully there. So I don't think. I mean, neither one of us knew it was like a huge thing. And I think I said this before too. Like I didn't know the extent, and really, I think until I read the article that you wrote with Ange. I think at that was the like, oh shit, holy crap, kind of deal. But yeah, we
I
didn't-
tried to hide it as best as I could.
well,
did a good job, because like I mean,
I'm impressed.
I mean we
Like I'm impressed.
I think both of us had friends that we knew.
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of stuff. So, like, it's not like I didn't know what drug use or addiction looked like,
Yeah.
but like, I didn't get it from you. I didn't sense it. And granted, you know, I was doing my own thing.
I was
like
gonna say, yeah, we were
out of the
all
house,
like,
yeah.
separate directions.
just working
not-
on
in contact all the time kind of deal either. So
Yeah,
I think that was part of it.
Yeah, I mean, if we would have seen you every day, it might have been a little bit more aware. But
Yeah, I think it was easy that we were all in different areas. It helped me withdraw even easier.
that makes sense.
And it was like one relationship after another just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know how, but I was able to hide it until that day until Aunt Chrissy found my police record in the newspaper.
That wouldn't happen nowadays, huh?
No. God, no. No.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is. So what was it like for you guys when I was in like early recovery? Was there any panic
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
like
And
questioning? Because I remember I had to take a pee test with you. Remember that?
Yeah.
I had to prove Dad that I was sober, and so Shelby watched me pee in a cup.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always that panic, and I think there will always be that kind of like nervousness. I don't know, just that something's gonna happen to trigger you, and that's what we talked about before. I think it was walking on eggshells a bit in the beginning of like, can we have drinks around her? Like, can we talk about that kind of stuff? Is it awkward? Like, are we making it worse for you? Like, I think it was a lot of that, especially, I mean, family parties for us, this wine time, you know, and so I think there was a lot of that for everyone.
Yeah, it's tough with our family too, because we're, party pretty good when we all get together, especially drink wise,
Yeah.
I said that like other things are always involved. We drink
Never
when our
other things
when our
are-
family gets together. There's a lot of drinks to be had.
Yeah.
So that was tough at first. Again, we talked about it a little bit when you came over to my house a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm very kind of not I don't want to say out of sight, out of mind, but it's very much like I think of somebody and then I was like, oh well, now's not the right time to text them, so I'll just wait till like I'm done work or I'm on a break or something, and then I forget, and then I'm like, oh, now it's it's too late, so
Now
it's
the
like
moment's
awkward,
passed.
like so for me it was very like on a day-to-day thing. I didn't worry about it. Family gatherings, I did worry about it. And I always like worried about a relapse. I was like, well, what happens with that? Fortunately, we haven't had to, deal with that, but it, that was definitely a concern. The biggest thing was when I went to a meeting with you.
You went to a meeting with me?
It was, you got one of your chips. It was early, probably
Yeah.
Oh,
year
At the
maybe?
place where we had
Dad's party. You all
60th.
stood up, and I turned around and I was like, oh, God, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, I remember that.
So that was kind of like a whoa
I think
moment
that was
for
your
me.
1 year.
Yeah, I think it was a milestone for
Yeah,
sure.
it was like early on.
Yeah, it was probably a year, I think. So it was definitely a whoa moment for me, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like she got it. Like she's doing good.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't know what to expect,
Did you guys know anything about like AA or recovery or rehab before
No.
any of this stuff came up?
No.
No, other than what you see in TVs and or TV and movies.
Rehab,
and, like,
at least, I don't know. Maybe that's, again, just being naive, but like that's not a big thing that like happens here where we live all the time. At least in in my world, I don't know. I just never knew anybody that went through it. I don't
I
know.
mean, we could have. We
Definitely
could have
could've.
known somebody, but it was never open.
Should have.
Yeah, definitely should have. But there was, I think maybe Dr. Drew's Sober House might have been on TV at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So like that would have been my biggest like.
Celebrity.
Yeah, and like they're playing it up, and they're
Yeah.
not to diminish, that they were going through something at the time, but that's like pop culture is what you got from it, unless you have somebody or have gone through it. So it's definitely like a weird moment for me, at least.
Yeah, I never knew. Like, I guess I saw it in movies and TV shows. It just never registered to what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I guess I don't know. When I went to my first meeting, I had no idea that intervention. Lori mentioned 12-step programs, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to watch the show Intervention, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right around when we
Yep.
had the intervention. It was popular, like, at that time anyways. But then, so that, I think, for me, was like, okay, is this what she's going? You know, like, you just don't know. I don't know. It was, like I said, weird, like, walking on eggshells. So you kind of have to.
And also, movies
Yes,
and TV really put a kind
Negative.
of stink on it. You know, like it's shameful, or like
Yeah.
people can't go and get help, which is such a
Terrible.
weird way that pop culture has spun it. You know, like, hey, people need help and they need a support network, and not everybody has that, especially in family. And luckily for us, we have a pretty close knit families, so I think like you can lean on each other. But some people don't have that, and like that's where they can go to get the support. And I didn't really think about it till I went to that meeting. You know, it was like, oh, I kind of like, this is a community of people that are all going through the same thing. So it was interesting.
and what about now? We're almost 9 years.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
That's so
2 months,
weird.
and I'll have fucking 9 years.
Yay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that blows my mind. I
9
kind of
years.
can't believe it.
What blew my mind was thinking about my 20th high school reunion is going to be next year.
That's gross.
Exactly. So it feels like a really long, I don't know. It just feels like it's been like this forever. I don't know.
Right. But yeah, so 2 months away from another big milestone.
Yay.
Do you guys fear that I will, like, in the back of your mind, do you guys have that fear of relapse? I know you've mentioned it because if something traumatic happens, is it going to send Shannon over or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're really strong. Like you've been through a lot, so to me, it's almost, you know, like I can't imagine it. But we have some pretty people that are close to us that have gone through health issues, and you know, our family's aging, so it's one of those things. I don't know. You know, they're all mentally. If we lose somebody close to us, I don't know what that would do to any one of us. But you know, somebody that's already battling addiction, like it's an easy thing to go back to. Like I would imagine.
And what if, you know, go back for me, but it could trigger something in you guys?
Yeah.
Maybe not going to find some blow or whatever, but you know, dive into alcohol or whatever, because alcoholism runs in our family. You know, not saying that it couldn't happen to you guys. You know,
I think because of that, and obviously going through, you know, seeing you go through everything, like Mike and I are both very like hyper aware of that, and so I don't have that concern for me personally, because we know it's a big thing in both of our families, and you know, just trying to really be mindful of that. I won't say early COVID, there's definitely a lot more drinks around, but you know, we paid really close attention to that, because I have 2 boys. I don't want to put myself in that position, so I don't worry about that for me. But
right. And you've seen what I've gone through. You understand the whole life and stuff. So I think having that education makes it that much easier to not fall into the grips of it.
Yeah. Well, and I've worked hard on my mental health to make sure that I am in a better place for the kids and for everyone else. So I think, I don't know, I'm not worried about that. I mean, not to say that it couldn't happen, but
Yeah, I'm definitely not worried about a relapse.
That's good.
You know, like what is it gonna do? You know, numb pain for a minute. Like I'm still gonna remember. You know, it's just my life is too good.
Yeah.
You know, like sure, fun, cool, but like where would I even get stuff? You know, who would
Yeah.
I get it from? You know, like I'm so disconnected from it, and it's like I know damn well right from wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to benefit me, and it's not going to benefit anyone else.
Yeah.
I remember when you talked with Shelby and Becca that you were like, I don't know if it resented or regretted not being able to like drink at events, like weddings and stuff. Thinking about early recovery, that was something that I was, not saying concerned with, but I was like, oh, that blows. Like, me and Shelby have had those milestones of ages and events and stuff where we were able to, you know, kick a couple back and get crazy.
Right, for like your wedding and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I would think like I will never be able to have like a drink at my wedding. Like the cheers, it's not going to be, you know?
In,
But it doesn't
Luckily-
need,
fair-
I was gonna say, but
in-
it doesn't need to be that way either.
Exactly.
And I wish I had less to drink at my own wedding.
in fairness, I
honestly.
think I was sober on my wedding. I
No,
should
you
have.
were not.
Not at not at the end. Let me. Okay.
I was going to
So,
say,
I was gonna say, no, you were
Basically, until we did the like chair striptease, and then everybody started leaving, and that's when people started pumping me with shots.
not. Oh. Yeah.
you know, at first I wanted to drink at my wedding.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I say this lightheartedly. Like, luckily I had my 21st birthday drunk. You know what I mean? Because if I got sober
Yeah.
at 20, I think I would regret it.
Yeah.
Obviously, years down the way, I wouldn't, you know, like grateful that I got sober young. You know what I mean? But there's definitely those times where like my 20s were sober, you know, and that's like the prime party time for some people. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I definitely felt like I missed out, but nope.
Tyler, you're a loud drinker. Like,
Can you? Is that picking up on the mic?
chugging
Can
water.
you burp next time, please?
When I drink,
I brought the loudest straw, and you just brought the loudest water bottle.
dude. I was drinking this the other day, and it like when I get going, it like. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It like, oh my god, it's like a water
You
bottle.
hear that?
Yeah.
And Becca's like, "Your drinking just made me thirsty," so she had to go get a drink. I was like,
It sounds like a water bubbler, like
dude,
those things
such a
when you're
satisfying water bottle.
Oh.
Shout out to Under Armour, sponsor the podcast. No, it's like such a satisfying water bottle to drink out of.
See, I like mine because it keeps it really cold, but the metal straw is very loud.
Okay.
So in the middle of the night, clinking around.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
that was a good aside from the serious conversation we're having.
And then my little alcoholic mind is like, that water bottle
Yeah.
would be good with the booze.
But
And then this one is
keeps
like
it so cold,
like a little wine or
yeah,
something.
or really hot. Either one.
So it's a thermos, basically.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not.
You have a mini thermos.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
And you know what's ironic? It says, this is probably Tito's.
It does. It does say that. Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah. And I got my Key West flip flops on the other side. Anyhow. Okay.
I feel like any conversation we have
That's
goes like
true.
that.
That's
However, Tyler and I, we get into the nitty gritty
I
of
know.
things.
Yeah.
I'm
And
so
we-
annoyed that I wasn't there that night that you guys were.
Dude,
hanging
she was over at my place till like 11.
I know,
11,
and I feel like I
15 or
missed all
something.
the goods. So can you like give me some recap of what you talked about that I apparently forgot all about?
Well, let's give the audience a little bit more background. They've definitely heard it, but it's more so of like a lot of my trauma
yeah.
is around my childhood and the lack of mother there and the way that she left
Mhm.
and the the absence while being with her, so there's like some context with that. None of us have a relationship with her right now, and it's more so of us talking to it's kind of therapeutic because
Yeah.
for so many years we have never talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler and I just recently started like 2 years ago, and you and I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very recent that we have been able to talk about it. And so if there are jokes that come up, it's because we're uncomfortable. And we
It
can
was
all
an
relate.
interesting
Or it's
conversation
fucking
when we
hilarious
first
and
talked about it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, because Dad was there, so he could fill in like stuff that we didn't actually know about, like from his perspective and like what he was worried about. So that was like a mind-opening conversation.
Like what?
We were when I was in Texas. They came out to see us,
Oh, that's right.
and we just got talking about Mom and what me and Shannon remembered and that kind of stuff. And Dad would, you know, he's always been very neutral.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, he's
if
not
we didn't-
neutral. He
well, not
just
neutral, but
he's
like
didn't voice
he was hands off
an
on
opinion.
the situation in respects to like you guys make your own decision, not like he didn't care and or have an opinion. He just let us decide
Yeah.
of how we felt about her. He
He's-
never injected any of that opinion, which is
Yeah, he's been very
Yeah.
supportive in that.
Yeah.
And never talked
To a
badly or,
Yeah.
to a fault, exactly. And always left it up to us, which was always super helpful.
Yeah.
but it was just interesting to hear his input on certain things that we talked about.
Because yet again, none of us have ever talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was always hard for me, especially Aunt Chrissy's a good one that will bring stuff up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I want to hear. I want to know more because I only know so much, and I know
Yeah.
you know a lot. And it's, but it always choked me up. And now, since doing all this therapy,
Yeah.
and I told Tyler about the EMDR,
I
and
still really
that
wanna
fucking
do it.
changed my
That-
life.
That's crazy, man.
I want to do it so bad.
It
still.
eye opening, and
Yeah, I don't know
was
what I
crazy.
would like. For me, I haven't dealt with it like you guys. I don't think. Like I'm sure there's some screws loose that I should address but they're not to the surface to where
Yeah.
I definitely have trust issues and commitment issues. When it
abandonment.
Yeah, abandonment is better. Like
Yeah.
I don't have problem committing, but it's abandonment issues. Like I
Yeah.
definitely have those feelings, but it's not like something like I don't have anything to qualify it against. So like I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, these are normal people feelings. But like as we get into our childhood, me and Shannon reflecting of how abnormal it was,
Yeah.
but it seemed totally normal. Like we talked about the hotel or the motel.
Motel.
We found the pictures of it.
I don't know how you found those pictures because
Shannon found
we
it on
looked.
Friendster or something.
Oh my god, I looked for so long to find those
Dude,
pictures.
she found them in like lickety split. Like
I know what to do.
The
Yeah.
spirits are out there listening and
Yeah.
saying they need to know what this place looked like. I still want to know what the place in
the
Middlebury
spirits.
we talked about before.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, they
I
be
still
able to bring
wanna-
it back.
I still wish we could find a picture of the place in Middlebury.
I didn't know there was
I
one in Middlebury.
Didn't remember.
Oh
Shannon
my
told me you said that.
God,
I
was
don't
so
remember that
creepy,
at
and
all.
it was so far away, like Virgins, not Middlebury, Virgins, but still,
Okay.
like
I
way
still don't remember
the
that.
fuck out there.
Was it a motel?
Yeah,
It's the same one.
it was the same owners.
Oh really?
But it was like an abandoned one that they were trying to rehab, like fix it up.
Oh, so there wasn't anyone in there?
No.
I had no idea.
Slept in the camper out back. It was
Oh, maybe that's I thought that was in Milton. Oh,
Well,
it's
they
the camper.
They had a pop-up camper that we slept in.
I
at the
vaguely
motel in
remember a
Virgins.
pop-up camper, but
But yeah, they did have the trailer in Milton.
that's what I remember. I don't remember.
Ugh.
I had a lot of trauma from that, or at least I had to process a lot of stuff. No, that's a lie. Okay, so when I was growing up, I absolutely 100% pinned my drug abuse on the lack of my mother.
That's fair though.
I 100%. I had a lot of resentment and a
Yeah.
lot of hurt, and I would absolutely use drugs to numb that.
Well, but you didn't have any answers. You didn't know. Like, you were too young to share a lot of the details and stuff that I had and that Dad had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could definitely see that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you idolized her
Mm-hmm.
and had no answers, really, other than she went to start a new family. Like,
Yeah.
how can you blame someone for internalizing that? Like, you can't.
Right. Right.
Of course, at that age, you're going to.
Yeah. So yeah, when growing up, I definitely pointed all my drug abuse and depression at that. I am now, and further later years of my sobriety, growing in that, I quickly realized that it wasn't her. You know what I mean? I just used that as the getaway. You know,
Yeah.
that excuse to act in that behavior. Yeah, definitely trauma has
Triggered
triggered
something,
it
yeah.
or impacted it, but I now, you know what I mean? I don't point fingers.
Yeah.
Like, it happened. What has happened happened, and there's
Yeah.
nothing that I can do to change it. And I finally came to that realization like within the last few years. And it took a while to get to that point,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
There was a lot of pointing fingers and accusing. And I mean, like, yeah, rightfully so, but
Yeah.
it was taking way too much of my time,
Yeah.
too much of my, you know, mind.
Yeah. To
You
place
know.
blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I had a lot of anger. Because I remember
I think
her.
we all
I
did
remember her
and
leaving
Still do.
like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Dad said the first time she came back because I didn't remember her.
Yeah, I was in 3rd grade.
You were in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
I thought I was a baby. Because they split up, and then they had Shannon after they got back together.
Yeah.
I was the oops.
So you couldn't.
You're welcome.
So yeah, you would have been in 1st grade. You would have been young.
Oh, I thought I was even younger than that. But yeah, that's.
Unless there's another time before that I don't remember.
I thought I was younger. I thought I was like in diapers.
That's
But I was 1st grade. I still could have been.
We can laugh about it now because
Yeah.
we are at a spot where we are healing.
Yeah.
And I feel that I have healed. You know what I mean? Like, we've earned it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have earned it is the right word, but it's like
No, we have earned it. We had to live through all the shit she put us through. We're allowed to laugh at it at this point if we want to. Like,
yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And so we can feel however we want to feel about it. And if we want to laugh about it, then fucking laugh about it.
Now, did you guys have, I know you didn't really say that you had any like significant trauma, but like did you use any like a gateway to kind of like release this sadness, depression, whatever you want to call it? Like, I use drugs.
Yeah.
I use self-mutilation.
I mean, definitely in high school, it was weed.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, it was not until the last couple of years with, going through therapy and stuff.
A lot of it was bottling it.
Yeah.
I feel like. Tyler, you just don't seem like you were affected the same way as we have been.
Or hasn't
I was
worked through
angry
it.
and I became very cynical and
Yeah.
sarcastic.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That
I
explains
think I
everything.
used humor a lot as a gateway. Just because if I can like laugh about it, it didn't hurt at all. Contact sports for sure. Like you
Shit
can,
out of them.
yeah, if you can hit somebody else in a legal sort of fashion, I think that might have helped a little bit. But I think most of it is like humor is just kind of like,
Yeah.
and again, I thought it was normal. Like not thinking back on it and like
Yeah.
looking at how normal people would live. Like it was a pretty fucked up situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say probably humor
Yeah.
helped me a lot.
Do you feel like you've healed? Or are you still in the healing process of everything?
I think for the most part, at this point, like, I don't know. I've just been so indifferent for so long towards her and the entire situation. Like, I think for the most part, yeah, I'm on the other side of that. I think for the longest time I had the most, I don't know, not regret, but like hope that she was going to come around and like see like, oh my God, for so many years my kids wrote me off. Now I have a chance with my grandkids. And so giving her that opportunity to like change things with Ben, you know, there was a lot of like guilt around that and frustration and just, I don't know. We just talked about it on the Jodie Sweetin podcast too, of like, why couldn't she be better for me? Like, why couldn't she be better for the kids? And, you know, so there's that, I think, frustration.
So I think, you know, I definitely feel that my mourning process has passed and I have successfully got to the other side, because before I wasn't even able to like, I'd choke if anyone asked me about her, you know, and it was just like nasty pit, and now I'm totally fine. You ask me whatever, I'll tell you what's up. However, the thing that I think I get that could still upset me is the thought of my little self being hurt. Like, when I think of myself as a little kid, I just want to cry. Cause like that little girl was so hurt. Like that's what upsets me. Is like not the fact that I don't have a mom. The one that birthed me. I don't have my biological mom. It's the fact that my little self was so hurt and abandoned and left. And the question that I always asked myself was, why wasn't I good enough? Like, I'm pretty fucking dope. Like, why wasn't I good enough? You know? But then I have to remember that she is her own self, just like I'm my own self. Why couldn't I got sober for you guys sooner? You know what I mean? It's like she did as best as she could, and it looks really fucking shitty. And I know I would never... my best would never look like that. You know what I mean? But I know that she tried her best. And I'm not trying to justify any of her actions, but that's all she was able to give. Capable of. If she was, she would have given us more. Would have been there more.
That's very caring. To say that she could have given more, you could have just given less to other things. Like it didn't kill you to stay in the state, you know? Like you just, if you're always running from your problems, like, I get it. That's how some people cope, and like you think you're gonna start over, and sure, but like, to me, I can't let somebody go that route and totally forget. Like, I guess it's a kind of a dickish thing to say, but I can't forgive that. Like, that's who you are as a person. Yeah, you're a shitty person. Like, but to say that, like, that you did your best, come on. Like, no, you didn't. You should have done more. Like, just a little bit more, like, not leaving the state. Like, you didn't have to hang out with us, I guess. Like,
was there any thought, like, at any point to reach out to her when, like, my shit hit the fan?
No.
No.
I didn't know if, like...
absolutely not on the table, not on the radar, not something anybody felt like would be helpful.
Could you imagine? Yeah.
Oh, my God. What questions did you have?
Yeah, they would have been better suited earlier, but Shannon, so after listening to the that podcast with the chick from Fuller House and Full House, Stephanie, Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah.
They said that, like, working in recovery is like a high relapse rate. Did you know that at the time? Is that true? Did you know that? And were you worried about that?
Working?
Yeah. So if you work in recovery, there's a high relapse rate because you're working with people that are in, trying to kick the addiction.
Yeah. So like becoming a counselor or something.
Yeah. Becoming a counselor, working in a house or something like that makes you... like, there's a high...
because you always know where to score.
Yeah, there's a high reuse rate.
Well, okay, so fun fact, when you get sober, it is 99% sure that you are going to want a job as an alcohol counselor.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah. Everyone you talk to, you're like, yeah, I want to be an alcohol counselor. I'm like, you're fucking 3 days sober. Go at it. But everyone wants to work in the field because you just get all jazzed up and you really like it. I definitely wanted to do it. Definitely crossed my mind. And then people steered you away from it and said that same thing of like, you're just going to get worn out.
Mm-hmm.
So like the beginning parts of my sobriety was just about recovery.
Yeah.
And then I was with the Sober House V4 3 years ago. No, I was with them little less than 2 years ago. And yeah, so that was 7 years into my recovery. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was at a stable spot. In 2018, I started recovery coaching. I was solid when I started working in the field.
I feel like it would be really hard if you're actively still working through and processing that, and then also like pile on everyone else's shit.
I'm gonna go help someone else that's a mess. It just doesn't work out.
So how soon did you start doing the recovery after recovery coaching and stuff?
Like
Recovery coaching, I started in 2018. So I
So
got
how many years
sober
was that?
in 2013. So I was
Okay.
5 years sober.
Yeah.
And then I started V4 in like 2017.
So you knew that was a thing that
I heard about it, but I took it with a grain of salt. And then I was like, I'm going to go back to school and become a teacher. So that was like
see my Shannon voice wasn't too far off.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But yeah, no, I've heard of it and I didn't get into it. But when I did get into working in recovery scene, I'm fine. I don't internalize things like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take things home like I used to. I don't overreact like I used to. Your problem is your problem. My problem is mine. I'm going to help you through yours, but I'm not going to dive into it and make it mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where before, I think that's what I would have done.
That makes
Actually,
sense.
that's what I used to do. So yes.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on this with Shelby, but if you ever plan on having kids, and I know you have a couple experiences with our kids to deter and encourage you, but are you worried about it passing on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's more so of my mental health
Yeah.
with the aspect of depression. Mine is unbearable sometimes.
Do you think that's genetic, or do you think that's from?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Or the 2 packs of cigarettes she smoked with me while I was in her belly. Either or. Doesn't matter. But yes, I definitely think mental health is hereditary.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I have definitely changed my outlook of having kids because I have been a little more open-minded about things and a little more clear-headed recently. This is like in the last year that I, as of right now, do not want kids because I don't want anyone to ever have to deal with what I have to deal with.
That's fair.
So yes,
But
I
you
do
also
think.
know that runs in the family, and so you could be more aware to that and know how to support someone in that situation and know how to approach mental health issues without the stigma that most people do. And
Absolutely. So I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of knowledge and education around it and experience. But when you are depressed, you are only going to take certain information. When you are in an episode, you're not going to get the help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you are, but you have to be able to hear it. And when you're in an episode, nothing's getting through.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I could have all these resources and potentially save them, but what if I didn't?
Yeah.
And they have to feel 1 ounce of what I feel. I would
Yeah.
never.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think of that as being more of a factor than the addiction portion.
But yes, addiction definitely comes in because what if I have a kid and they get caught up in addiction or alcoholism and they die?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
never be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
Knowing that I freely made the choice to bring a child into this world, knowing what I know, and the chances are so high. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like I would hold myself to it. And like, I know all this stuff. I have all this experience, and they still fucking became an addict.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, no matter the amount of help you have, someone's going to take the path that they're going to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's higher when you have it running in your family.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Great questions.
Someday Ben's gonna listen to this. Fucking stay sober.
God damn it. Better.
We're back.
That's all I had for questions. Like on.
Oh god, Shan's got rapid fire.
I do. Let's
Okay.
wrap this up. I'm
God.
gonna
Swear
do.
I excel.
Oh god.
Okay.
I
All
don't.
right.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
Okay.
What makes you happy?
My kid's laughing.
What makes you?
Oh, I was gonna say the exact same thing. So I'll go with palm trees and blue water.
Fair enough. Who's your biggest influence?
Growing up, dad, as a adult, listened to Rogan podcasts.
Jesus.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Who's your biggest?
I would say dad and then Aunt Chris.
yeah, for sure, on Chris.
Mm-hmm. If you could give advice, one piece of advice, what would it be?
That's not a very good rapid fire, man. I gotta think about that. Don't wait. So I always waited for the perfect time for everything. And sometimes it was in my detriment. Like there's goals that I had that I waited too long to act on, and then I was too old. So yeah, don't wait. Just hit it.
Yeah. I would say the same thing, but with mental health stuff, because I should have done counseling, therapy many, many, many years ago. I should have been on medicine many years ago, and I waited, and things could have been different, you know. I could have showed up differently had I taken that stuff seriously and not, I don't know, you know, it was so stigmatized that I just waited.
What's one affirmation that you wish you told yourself more often?
Man. So it's like a good thing, right?
You can tell Ty is not big into affirmations.
Yeah, man. I just
journaling.
I don't. Something I wish I would have told myself. You got what it takes. Just do it. Probably. I always second guess myself. So, yeah. Don't say. I would say the same thing.
No. I would say I'm beautiful and I'm enough.
Is that what we wrote on our papers? Because I remember I wrote I was enough for that photo shoot.
I don't remember what I wrote.
I wrote I am enough. What's something you want to accomplish?
Immediate goals. Physically, get that basement done that I've been promising my wife for umpteen years. I got other career goals that I think I'm in progress for, but like raise good children, I guess would be a good one.
Okay, well that takes time.
Immediately.
Well, your basement is
Yeah.
like something. What's stopping you from?
Right now, availability of other people to do.
Fair enough.
I'll use
Outsource that
use
shit.
my affirmation and maybe
Yeah.
get some of the work done on my own. But
There you go.
put enough hours into that basement. I just want it done by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
What was the question again?
What's something you want to accomplish?
Definitely freeing myself from diet culture mentality. That's what I'm.
You're on the
Yes,
way.
I'm working
there.
on that,
Yeah.
but it is constant, and raising kids to be better than that. Teaching them good habits around food and intuitive eating and things like that. It's hard. And yeah, having my husband buy in and being on the same team with that and how we raise our kids around food. So
Nice. Well, there it is.
yeah.
That's all the questions.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
How you guys feel?
4 hours later.
I know.
I'm so glad we ate before.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
I told you
feel good.
it's gonna take however long it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
feels good. I feel like we could have probably gone longer, but
Oh,
Yes.
dive into it on another one.
Yeah.
Dose.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna end there, and maybe we'll do a numeral dose. Who knows? Probably do it with Becca.
Mm.
All 4 of us.
Oh God.
Who knows?
That's gonna be a real long one. You should get Michael on here too.
Oh man, we got the whole gang.
Oh God. We got Poppy and Mia. Where are you? And then our kids. All 4 of them.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. We out. Bye.